Listen up. Broncos Country, a covert shift is underway that might redefine the franchise's destiny, yet the true magnitude remains largely whispered. As the league obsesses over flashy, surface-level drama, Denver is quietly plotting a maneuver that could catapult their offensive firepower to a completely different stratosphere. Should this vision materialize, and the signs are there, the faithful might be watching the pivot that defines the entire 2026 campaign. Before free agency even kicks off, the conference is trembling as a massive rival burns everything to the ground. Icons are cut, massive deals dissolve, and when such turmoil grips the league, savvy franchises don't flinch, they strike. The burning question remains: is Denver preparing to pull the trigger? Before I break down why this instant is pivotal and how it alters the trajectory for Bo Nix and the combating the seven, attack. Smash that like button if you believe we are primed for a leap, and drop a comment if you ride with this squad through it all. Let's ride. I bleed orange and blue, so understand that what follows might decide if we hold the line or push all our chips in at the perfect moment. The whole offseason has revolved around arming Bo Nix with another lethal weapon, and we have all heard the murmurs. We have dissected trade theories, but one heavyweight name constantly surfacing in the rumor mill is A.J. Brown. ESPN's Bill Barnwell suggests a swap, sending a second-rounder, a fifth-rounder, and Riley Moss to Philly for Brown in a late pick. That is a steep ransom to pay. Brown is a bona fide star, yet dissecting that offer forces you to question its logic for our current roster construction. Moss took heat last year for some interference calls, but secondary depth was the backbone of this defensive unit. We witnessed the catastrophe when the injury bug bit hard in years past. This season, even with Surtain sidelined by a pec strain, the defensive wall refused to crumble. Such resilience is never a fluke. It is the direct result of a deep bench. Sacrificing Moss and high draft picks for a receiver costing $27 million is a massive risk, given our defense's crucial role in winning. This explains why numerous pundits, local reporters included, immediately flagged the idea with serious doubt. However, the plot is about to thicken significantly. Miami seems intent on a total demolition, a move that drastically alters the competitive terrain. Reports indicate a complete teardown is imminent, involving the cut of Bradley Chubb and the exit of key foundational assets. Chubb, our former draftee and trade piece, was attracting second-round buzz before the Dolphins finally severed ties. That speaks volumes about the level of aggression franchises might display in this volatile marketplace. Then you have Tyreek Hill, also axed by Miami following a brutal leg injury, sparking wild theories on his next destination. Rumors swirl about a return to Kansas City, while others connect him to the silver and black in Vegas. Remaining within the AFC West would radically transform the balance of power in our division. Yet considering his years, current health, and pending surgery, signing him is hardly a sure bet for any suitor. Now, here is the bombshell that really matters to our fan base. As Miami embraces a reset and potentially moves off Tua Tagovailoa, a window cracks open that might revolutionize our attack. Credible whispers now suggest Denver might have a real chance at Jaylen Waddle, and that is where the thrill begins. Waddle was a prime target we chased hard at the deadline, but the cost back then was simply astronomical. Now that the Dolphins are hoarding assets, they have zero need for top-tier receiver output during a tank season. They crave draft capital, while Waddle offers a dynamic element we sorely lack. Despite Marvin Mims' incredible vertical velocity, Courtland Sutton remains that dependable rock who consistently keeps the drive alive. Pat Bryant absolutely dominates on those quick slant routes. Troy Franklin is bulking up nicely, yet nobody transforms a short 7-yard catch into a 15-yard tear quite like Waddle. He is the X factor. While we topped the charts in yards after catch last year, most of that production relied on scripted screenplays. We are missing that playmaker who generates huge gains via crisp routes and pure separation, then tacks on serious yardage. Waddle executes that role at a world-class level, constantly finding gaps and making defenders pay dearly once the ball is in his hands. If we are picking at 30 and the cost is a first-rounder for Waddle, that is a debate we absolutely must entertain. He is youthful, explosive, and slots seamlessly into the vision Sean Payton is constructing for Bo Nix, and the roster shuffle has only just begun. As the deadlines for pre- and post-June 1st cuts draw near, a surge of talent is poised to flood the market. Today's pool of free agents might seem shallow, but a seismic shift is just over the horizon. This period allows savvy executives to feast on rivals who delayed liquidating assets, giving Denver a distinct strategic advantage. When a powerhouse like Miami publicly vows to demolish their roster foundation, it sends tremors throughout the entire league. This goes beyond moving chess pieces. They are broadcasting a total systemic reboot. They are bracing to swallow potentially the most colossal financial penalty in history to escape their current quarterback predicament. Such drastic measures signal a scorched earth reconstruction, and in that chaos, player values fluctuate wildly. Icons once deemed untouchable are suddenly on the auction block, making the Jaylen Waddle dream a tangible reality. Everything hinges on timing, because back at the trade deadline, the cost of entry was simply exorbitant. Miami operated under the illusion of contention then, but now they are staring down the barrel of a multi-year excavation. Reconstruction demands valuing future draft picks over current stars, particularly at receiver where rookie deals sync perfectly with developing a new signal caller. Viewing this situation from the Broncos' standpoint, the mission is capitalizing on Bo Nix's rookie contract era, given the flashes of brilliance, precision, and mobility he has already displayed. Yet every developing gunslinger requires that singular weapon capable of warping defensive schemes to simplify the game. We are not talking about a sprinter who simply blazes a trail down the sideline. It requires a nightmare who forces coordinators to rewrite playbooks, not just win jump balls, and Waddle dictates that fear. Imagine the domino effect on the unit, where Courtland Sutton suddenly finds himself facing significantly weaker coverage. Marvin Mims transforms into a lethal threat when safeties are pinned back, while Pat Bryant exploits the wide-open spaces underneath. Troy Franklin matures faster, without the burden of carrying the offense immediately, creating a colossal chain reaction of success. Keep in mind, Denver sits at pick 30, a solid spot for depth, but finding a confirmed superstar who destroys angles after the catch is incredibly rare there. Relying on the draft is essentially betting your future on hope and potential. Acquiring Waddle buys you guaranteed results. And looking at the bigger picture, this defense just shattered the franchise record for sacks. That unit has forged a savage identity with a proven secondary, clearly indicating that the defense is on an unstoppable trajectory. It is the offensive side of the ball where the true potential remains largely untapped and waiting to be unleashed. Competing in the merciless AFC means the gap between a brief playoff cameo and a championship chase often boils down to a single dynamic playmaker. We are plunging into the chaotic stretch of the offseason, where roster purges intensify through strategic designations and contract restructuring. Shocking departures are imminent, guaranteeing that today's barren free agent landscape will be unrecognizable in just a fortnight. Intelligent franchises maintain fluidity to pounce on cap casualties and exploit desperation, all while seizing a critical psychological advantage. Should Miami trade away Tyreek Hill to embrace a youth movement while Denver snatches Waddle, the balance of power shifts violently. That move screams to the division that the Broncos have finished being patient, proving this is about dominance rather than media buzz. This strategy is pure, calculated aggression as the scouting combine approaches and player assessments hit a fever pitch. With free agency 3 weeks out and the draft 66 days away, front offices are finalizing their war boards for imminent decisions. Through this turbulence, Denver holds the ultimate trump card of optionality, operating from a place of strategic strength rather than panic. There is a deeper reality that the fan base must confront. Given the current hierarchy of the conference, incremental improvement is no longer sufficient. You must possess explosive firepower because the margin for survival in this league is vanishingly small. A single drive, a slipped tackle, or one blown coverage often dictates whether you host a postseason battle or sit on the couch. If the organization genuinely views Bo Nix as their franchise savior, this is the critical moment to fast-track his evolution. Rookie signal callers experience their most dramatic improvements once the chaotic speed of the game begins to decelerate in their minds. That mental deceleration happens precisely when targets create undeniable separation both pre-snap and the instant the ball moves. Jaylen Waddle manufactures that clarity on every down, proven by tape, not hype, and aligns perfectly with Sean Payton's offensive vision. His game is built on rhythm, precision, and transforming short throws into long gains, sliding flawlessly into that tactical blueprint. Executing this trade represents surgical precision rather than desperation, capitalizing on the reconstruction phases occurring elsewhere in the league. The ultimate question is stark. Will the Broncos identify this fleeting chance to strike while the Cabinet strategic leverage remains firmly within their grasp?